Rewind to 1985.
You built a time machine.
Back to the Future was #1 on the big screen. The Cosby Show was most watched on TV. Lionel Richie had the #1 hit single. And in sports, McAllen was hosting Palm Bowl. The NCAA football championship game hosted North Dakota State University and the University of North Alabama vying for the Division II title. And it was one of several years McAllen hosted the exciting event, one that showcased some of the elite in college football playing in sunny South Texas. Nearly 30 years later, the city of McAllen and McAllen ISD are looking to bring back Palm Bowl, which left a lasting impression on many here, including current city commissioner Trey Pebley. He remembers going to the game with his dad when he was 6 years old.
It was one of those deals. I remember going to the game with my dad and his buddies, you know, so a 6-year-old going to, you know, this big stadium, you know, it was real impressive. Then one of the biggest things I remember as well is the Goodyear blimp came down and flew overhead and provided the aerial shots of the game. And you know, back in the day, the Goodyear blimp was a big deal.
NCAA Application Coordinator Brian Godina says McAllen is hoping to beat out a handful of other cities vying to bring the Division II championship game.
And so what we're doing is we're working with the NCAA in terms of putting that application together. We have a lot of decisions in terms of how we're going to present the stadium, what facility upgrades that need to be included, the proximity issues in terms of logistics, transportation, airline, hotel accommodations, what we can do with the players, the coaches when they get here for those 4 days.
Mr. Godina says he would find out before the end of the year if McAllen is selected. In order to bring the big game, though, several upgrades to the McAllen Stadium would have to be made.
A lot of it are the press box area is going to have to expand. We're going to have to expand some of the locker room facilities, facilities for the referees and the umpires. Some of the internal within the field, there has to be certain upgrades there. We might do some lighting enhancements. The scoreboard may have to be enhanced also.
The first round of improvements would likely total $3 to $4 million.
The good news is that we can show them a series of upgrades over the course of 4 years to meet their requirements.
More good news is that McAllen brings plenty to the table. Fabulous weather, football-crazed fans, and a community ready to embrace the teams regardless of which school they represent.
McAllen, first off, has that Palm Bowl legacy. So we've had and hosted 5 years of the Division Championship football games. But more importantly, I think that the weather is going to be key. Playing football outside on December 20th in Kansas City or Pittsburgh is not as attractive as playing it down here. We have a very family-centric, inviting atmosphere. Our Hispanic culture is very dominant in terms of an experience.
An organizing committee hosted Lone Star Conference Commissioner Stan Wagnon and gained some valuable feedback on how to move forward with the application process.
He loves the McAllen opportunity for multiple reasons. I know there's a discussion about the possibility of Monterey Tech maybe being part of the conference maybe someday, maybe closer than longer. Maybe Monterey Tech playing some football games here with some of the Lone Star Conference teams.
I'm not involved with the NCAA football committee that will be reviewing the process, but I am familiar with it, and I know that they're going to like what they see from the standpoint of the people here and the mindset here, and I know this is a community that would welcome teams for a national championship with open arms and really support it, and so I look forward to seeing how it turns out.
From the city standpoint, Commissioner Scott Crane believes Palm Bowl would be a big get for the city, but he would also like to bid for other sporting events of the same magnitude.
We're essentially in the idea and information gathering phase. And just all basically based on economic development, trying to bring people into McAllen to stay in our hotels, eat in our restaurants, spend money while they're here, and add tax revenues to the city coffers.
This is an opportunity to showcase McAllen to a lot of decision makers throughout the country, let them know what our community is about. So that's probably the best part of it. If we don't win it, at least we had a shot in branding McAllen for several weeks in terms of the application process.
Reporting in McAllen, Ray Pedraza for the McAllen Cable Network.